Phantom's primary ability is his refractive suit, which renders him almost entirely invisible for prolonged periods of time. This allows him to sneak around or even straight through the enemy front line without detection. While cloaked, Phantom cannot be spotted by spotting abilities, making him hard to locate on the battlefield.
How? All I can say is how. How can you think this would be even close to balanced or fair? How? Completely invisible, makes no sound, cannot be spotted, and can instantly shoot while cloaked. How is this balanced? How is this fair? It's not. It's not. Phantom was not even useless to begin with. I don't know what people are always talking about, but Phantom has always been a strong merc. It was like that one merc that just no one knew how to play. And then everyone is like, he's useless. But he's not. He was not. He never was useless. The only thing that was needed for him was actually to separate his EMP from his cloak. Other than that, he was a strong merc. He wasn't useless. He wasn't weak. He was extremely powerful in the right hands. This makes him a no skill required merc. Simple as that. You don't need skill to be successful with this merc. You can just pick this merc up and have a positive KD with insane amounts of kills. No, I'm not talking about doing the objective or anything else. I'm talking about being extremely annoying, making an extreme amount of kills with very few deaths just by playing Phantom. You don't even have to break a sweat. Being able to be aware of his presence, being able to spot a Phantom that is just roaming around randomly, cloaked with his humming sound, that was his counterplay. But now there is no counterplay. You cannot spot him, you cannot hear him. He can just mid-fight, cloak, run past you, and before you know it, you're dead. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Of course, in their latest dev video, they have promised they would tweak Phantom further, bringing back his audio cue. But to be honest, I don't think this is going to fix much. He will still be powerful, he will still be strong, and I think it's still going to be really hard to play against him. No matter the skill level of the player that is playing Phantom. I think the only way to make Phantom balanced and fair in Dirty Bomb would be to introduce the cloaking time. This is a time where the player needs to wait while decloaking before he can start shooting, which would make sense. Because if he's cloaked, he shouldn't be allowed to give away his presence. Then he could even be 100% invisible or make no sound when he's cloaked. Because it would force players to think before acting. That is of course only my opinion. I'm not saying they have to do this. This is what I think would fix Phantom from being too overpowered and too broken. Now to move on from Phantom to Hunter. First of all, what I want to say, I think Hunter is a great merc. I don't think he's overpowered. I don't think he's underpowered. I don't think he's useless. I think he's good. He's a good merc. He feels hard to play, harder than actual snipers, which would sound weird because he is kind of a sniper, but his projectiles do take drop into account, which makes it significantly harder to actually hit target and shooting with the crossbow. I really like Hunter, I really do. I've been playing him, I've almost been maining him since the update got released, and I've been liking to play him so far. What I don't like, however, is the way he was released. Telling your player base, telling your community that you want to spend extra time making sure your next merc is as perfect as possible, but then still releasing a merc that feels not broken or overpowered, but just buggy, and not even an event for him, which is also a thing that I find this kind of disturbing, because they've had more than enough time for this. But releasing a merc after this time that still feels buggy just doesn't feel like they said the truth about spending extra time on making a new merc. His crossbow, his arrows, have terrible hit registration. That said, Dirty Bomb already has a bad hit registration for all the guns in general, but the hit registration for the crossbow bolts is just, it's garbage. There was this moment where I saw a nader just standing still, and I took my crossbow, I zoomed in on her. The crosshair of the scope was aligned with her. So it was like, I'm gonna hit her, right? I'm definitely gonna hit her. And I definitely wasn't far away from her that the arrow would just drop to the ground, because that would not make sense on that short range. And when I shot the arrow, it just flew right through her, not giving me a hit marker and not doing any damage at all. And this feels like, even though they spent extra time making this merc, it feels like they rushed this merc anyway.